Hey, welcome to Camille Over Chai, a show about life, business, and everything in between, all over a cup of chai. I am your host, Camille Telicia, and today we are going to be talking about fear of money and wealth and how that impacts your business and also your life in general. So grab your cup of chai and come join me right back here. Welcome back, guys. I'm Camille Telicia, as I just said, and before we get our show started, we have to talk about today's chai. And today I am drinking Celestia's, a chai tea and espresso mix, all in a tea bag. And I love this because typically when I do go to Starbucks and get my chai latte, I almost always add a shot of espresso into it to make it a dirty chai anyways, plus the almond milk. So I get to kind of do it at home, and I get to use my hemp milk instead because I do not do cow's milk or any dairy stuff except for the occasional cheese. So Celestial Tea House allows me to do that at home, get my dirty chai on without having to have a fancy coffee machine and all that stuff. So today's chai, Celestial Tea House. All right, so let's get into it. So as you may know, for the month of October here in 2017, I am doing a campaign called F Your Fears October, in which all month long I'm going over the different fears that come up for entrepreneurs and career people in general, career people and corporate people, and just really anybody who is trying to achieve a goal. And so last week we talked about the fear of success and what that looks like and how that can play a role as we are really pursuing our goals. And so this week I've decided to highlight the fear of money and wealth, because that is something that can be a huge hindrance for entrepreneurs, especially solopreneurs that have a service-based business when they're coming right out of the gate. So when you have a fear of money, it is like you are just uncomfortable when you think about, talk about, try to get, go after money. Like, money just makes you uncomfortable. It makes you squeam a little bit. It makes you maybe feel anxiety. Maybe you start to sweat whenever you think about trying to send an invoice to a client. How your fear of money can show up for you would be something like when you have to price out an offering for a client or for a potential client, a potential customer, and you may have some set prices. So maybe your hourly rate that you calculated and you decided in your alone time was, I would like to be billing $100 an hour. But for some reason, every time somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'd like to work with you, how much does it cost? Like, what is your rate? You're like, maybe like 60, 70, 75 an hour, yeah. And I can say that so well because I've been there, I have had those issues with money and saying, okay, this is how much I'm going to charge you. This is how much I'm worth. And it may come from feelings of unworthiness, or it can be related to past experiences that you've had with money. So an example could be that maybe you've spent a long time just not having enough money. So the idea of having this abundance of money and having and always having money coming in and always having more than enough, you can't even fathom it because it's never been your reality. And so when it comes time for you to now create a situation based using your business as the basis for your abundance and for your financial gain and for your financial wealth, it's hard for you to get to that point and to actually make that reality happen for you. That could be you. Does that sound like you? I don't know. Another situation could be that you just have a negative relationship with money, and it may not be something that is your own doing. Typically, it's caused by past experiences. Our childhood and growing up often causes a lot of interesting stories and reactions in our adulthood. And I actually talk about that in my ebook, Shut the Stuff Up. So if you haven't gotten your copy of that yet, get it while it's still free by going to bit.ly/shut stuff up book. I'll put the link here so it'll be correct. Don't worry. And it'll be in the notes. Don't worry. Yeah, so I talk about how things that have happened in our childhood and our past can impact and create these stories, these false stories for us, and these limiting beliefs that we carry into our adulthood and our journey in entrepreneurship and our careers and all of that. And so with money, maybe you saw money negatively impact your family, your parents, friends of your family. And so now as an adult, as you are working towards building your business, you have a hard time talking about money and getting your money straight and really attracting money and attracting people who want to give you money, because to you, money is not a good thing. Money brings about bad things. Maybe people steal money from you in the past or have stolen money from you in the past, and so now you don't trust yourself with the money. You don't believe that you'll get to keep the money when you have it. And the thing is that energy that you have regarding them around the money will absolutely 100% affect how you move in your business, because you have all these thoughts going in the back of your head that you aren't even aware of. You're not even aware that you feel these things with money because you're so used to it. You don't even know that it's wrong. Like, you don't know that that is not normal. That's not a good way to be. So when it comes time for you now to price a course that you've created, and you're supposed to, it really is worth $600, $700, $800 per attendee. You can't bring yourself to charge that much, and so you're like, oh, I'll only charge $100 for it, knowing that it took you 6 months to put everything together. So you're not valuing yourself or your products or the things or your gifts that you're sharing with the world, your expertise, because money doesn't feel good to you. So you don't feel like you want to have it around you because money is not good. And so that is something that you want to look at if you are having trouble pricing yourself and your stuff for at your actual value. And, like, really charging your worth is really what I should say. If you're struggling to charge your worth, then you definitely want to take a look at past experiences that you have had with money, or that you've seen other people close to you have with money, and what stories that it may have created for you where now money is not a good thing. Money is not something that you strive to have. Another option could be that you, and I just touched on this actually a little bit ago, is that you don't feel like you deserve to have large amounts of money. And it may be because, again, you've never had it before, or maybe when you were younger, or in the past, you did have what you consider to be a large amount of money and you didn't handle it well. Maybe you went and spent it on frivolous things. And so now you are judging yourself because you're looking back like, look what you did when you had that $1,000 back at 16, 17, or like when you were in college. Here we go. Remember when we used to get our refund checks in college? Anybody who's on a scholarship or had a grant, and when the tuition is paid and everything's paid for, then you get that refund check, and it's usually a few $1,000s, and you're supposed to go and maybe pay your rent and buy your books and take care of whatever things you need, get your supplies and all of that for school. And maybe you and maybe you, looking at me, maybe you may have gone and done a little bit of a clothing shopping spree as well, because, hey, you're in school, you got to go to class every day, and you need clothes to wear to class, right? Like, you need to be able to look nice when you go to your class. And so maybe you spent a little more on your clothes budget than you should have, and didn't make sure that you could take care of your groceries for 2 months. But hey, you were 18, 19, 20. So now you're beyond that. And so if you learned the lesson in that experience, it's time to forgive yourself. It's time to say, okay, so guess what, Camille? Back when you were a teenager, you weren't that great with money, but you are now many, many years beyond that point. And it is okay for you to see yourself differently. It's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay to say, hey, I can be good with money now. I know better now. I know that I am more responsible now. I pay my bills now. My things are taken care of. So I know that it is okay for me to now again have a large amount of money and have multiple large amounts of money coming into my life, coming into my business, so that I can have all of what I need and what I desire. That it is okay. You can have a successful business now and know that you'll be okay with the money. And if for whatever reason you still feel like you're struggling to manage your money, have somebody help you. Reach out for help. There are people whose jobs it is literally to help people manage their money. So if you know that that is not your strength, don't allow that to be the reason why you don't seek out, why you don't do what you need to do, why you don't request and price yourself properly and put your business out there and really try to build with intention so that you can have a successfully profitable business. Don't let that be the reason why you don't do any of those things. Remind yourself that you can get the support that you need to make sure that you learn how to manage your money properly, if that is what is causing that resistance and that friction for you. There's always a solution. There's always a way to fix the problem or create a better opportunity for learning and for growth, especially when it comes to money. So if that feels like something that is your issue, then I encourage you to take a moment and really come up with some solutions. Come up with some reasons why you're better with money now, and make that list out so you can see for yourself, okay, this is what I do with my money now. And I know that I'm doing it right. I know that I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. So I may have made mistakes in the past, but life is about learning the lessons. Like, we are here to make mistakes so we can learn from them and do better the next time. So give yourself an opportunity to actually do better the next time. Let this be your next time. So you can make that list so you can see, okay, I am doing better here, 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 and here. So if I get XYZ amount of money, I know that I will still be able to do this, 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 and this. If you have not gotten better with money, maybe you go and take some financial literacy classes. Start making your budget. Start sticking to your budget. Start doing the work now so that as you take care of things, the way that you see yourself and the way that you feel about having a lot of money will start shifting, and then the money will feel better for you and you'll feel like, okay, I can handle it. Even if you just make sure that you're budgeting out $500 a week and you say, I'm always going to do this with my $500. I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay this with this $500, so I know that I can manage this amount of money. Then increase it to $800, and so I know that every month I'm going to do this, this, this with $800, and stick to it. Keep yourself accountable. If you can't do it yourself, enlist somebody, enlist a friend, enlist a professional to help keep you accountable with your money so that you can start feeling better about having money, large amounts of money. Pretty simple, but not simple at the same time. It is going to be a little bit of work, but listen, you can do it because you want it, correct? Okay, time to take another sip of the chai. All right, guys, so fear of money. It's important that you determine what is the source cause of your fear of money, your resistance to money, your friction with money. It may be different than some of the examples I suggested here, but it's important that no matter what, you figure out if money is your issue, if you're having trouble attracting clients that are going to pay you money, if you're having trouble pricing and charging what you're worth, if you're having trouble sending out large invoices for things and taking on bigger tasks because you don't want to be invoicing, whatever the case is, if you're feeling resistance, discomfort, friction, anxiety around money, there is a large, very strong chance that you have some sort of fear around money. And I would encourage you to seek out what that reason and what the cause is from your past, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to really break it down and move through it. So there are things you can do, like I suggested with the large sums of money. You can start practicing and you take smaller sums and do the work around that to show yourself that you're responsible, or to show yourself that it's okay. Maybe you need to go, if money makes you feel uncomfortable and you feel like money is not a good thing, maybe you need to go do some good things with money. So take a couple $100s if you want to start small. Take a couple $100s and go bless somebody else with it, or bless yourself with it. If you feel as though money is not something that you are meant to have and you are not worthy of having the money, take a couple extra take an extra couple $100s from your budget that is discretionary. Don't take your bill money, don't take your rent money, nothing of that. If you have some extra money, take that and do something for yourself that makes you feel good. And don't think about it. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't think about what else you could have been doing with the money. As long as all of your bills and your needs and your groceries and all of that stuff, all of those things are met already and paid for. If you have some extra money, even if it's only $20 extra that you can afford right now, this month, because of your bill cycle or whatever, where your business is, take that $20 and treat yourself. I don't know if you've ever watched Parks and Rec, but they used to have this treat yourself day. And they would go and shop and splurge on themselves. And so I'm not saying be wasteful and go buy a whole bunch of unnecessary things, but just do something to make yourself feel better about spending money. You have to change the way that you feel about the money and the way that you're seeing the money, because that's the only way that you are going to be able to start attracting more of it and bringing more of it in and feeling comfortable actually getting money and bringing it into your business. Or even maybe if it's not bringing into your business, it may be feeling comfortable about going and asking for the raise, or going for a position or a new job that has a $10,000 salary increase. You know, I mean, the sphere of money can show up for people beyond just entrepreneurship. But you know, I talk a lot about entrepreneurship because those are the people I work with. But this sphere of money can really impact you no matter what it is that you do. Because if you don't feel like you're worthy of having a lot of money or getting more money or getting enough money, you aren't going to ask for your worth when you go and negotiate for a job or a raise. You're going to shortchange yourself because you don't see that you're worth it, or it makes you uncomfortable, especially if you have issues with large sums of money and you're trying to negotiate raises that are, you know, thousands of dollars more, or negotiate a salary in a job offering that are thousands of dollars more than what you've made before, because you know, logically you know that you're worth it and you know that you deserve it, but in here and in your gut you aren't feeling it because of your past issues with the money. So this is definitely something you want to clear up, whether you are starting a business or you are just in a career of your own, and so or if you are in a career in corporate America. So you definitely want to take a look at what the cause is and do the different things that you need to do in order to shift that story, shift the beliefs, and shift the way that you feel about the money. So again, just to reiterate, if money it feels bad for you, go do something to make yourself feel good about money. If it's something where you don't feel like you deserve money, go do something to treat yourself. If you feel like money is not beneficial to other people or something along those lines, go and take the money and bless somebody. You start with smaller amounts. Don't try to overdo it and shock yourself in the first time that you're trying to fix this issue, because you don't want to have an adverse effect. You don't want to have an adverse reaction to taking these steps to resolve your money issues. So start small. Maybe start at $100, $500, whatever that uncomfortable point is for you. Maybe go a little bit less than that, like 75% of that, so that you have some working room, you have some room to go, 50 to 75%. And you can do nice things for other people, do nice things for yourself, do nice things for your family, treat your family, buy a nice meal, have an experience, but do things that you can feel good about. You can look back and say, there was this money that I had and I did this thing with it and I felt good about it, and leave it at that. That's it. Don't worry about, everything else you could have done with the money, or, don't start thinking about, the last time that I had this money, I did XYZ and it wasn't great. No, you want to start creating great experiences and great feelings and positive feelings around the money. So that is if money doesn't feel good for you, if it has money as a bad sort of connotation, or money gives me anxiety. Do things with the money to make yourself feel good, especially if you can treat yourself or pamper your family or pamper you and your significant other, loved ones. Do that. Then if you feel as though large sums of money make you uncomfortable, you aren't good with handling money, or you are afraid that you won't be able to keep large sums of money, then I encourage you to do some budgeting exercises. Start with a portion of your budget and stick to that, and show yourself that you can consistently, week after week, month after month, do this, and be responsible with your money. Or do something where you put the money in a savings account and watch it grow, or you hold on to it and don't spend it. Like, if you feel like you always spend your money too quickly, find a way where you are not spending it. So you have a set budget where you say, okay, these are the things I'm going to spend the money on, and I'm going to keep this portion, and I'm going to show myself that I can always keep this $500. And just shifting the way that you want to shift the choices that you're making around money. You want to start changing how you are behaving with your money so that you can feel comfortable with it and feel worthy of it and feel safe with it and feel responsible with it, if those are the things that are coming up for you when you have your fear of money. Okay, so that is fear of money, guys, fear of wealth. Please let me know your thoughts. If there is another source of fear around money that you've had, that when you were thinking about it, came up for you, feel free, drop your comment below. Let me know. I really would love to hear from you. Let me know if you try any of these exercises in moving through your fear of money so that you can actually get the success, the money, the wealth that you actually want and deserve, okay? Because you do deserve it, no matter what anybody tells you. You are worthy, hands down. I want to hear from you. If you want to catch up on F Your Fears October, you can go to CamilleTelicia.com/FYF October, and the links for everything will be there. We have a workshop coming up at the end of the month. Only 10 seats are available. It is $67, and it is F Your Fears, and we're going to go through all of the fears that we've talked about so far in Camille Over Chai, plus more. I'm only highlighting 4, and I have more than 4. So we're going to be going through that, breaking them down sort of like this, also coming up with the different tools and activities and exercises you can use to move through them, and you'll have the opportunity to be coached on the spot during the workshop as well and really have that actual breakthrough. That's why it's only 10 seats available for that. And lastly, if you want to just know more about me in general, you can always go to CamilleTelicia.com. You may have noticed my shirt today. Again, I have another one of my shirts, which is, from my Melanin Goddess apparel line, and I'll put the link here. You can always go check that out. This one says Queens Salute Queens, all about women's empowerment and supporting one another. And that shirt is available for purchase as well. And I think that is it. That's all I got for you guys today. Drop your comments, share this video if you like what you heard, if you feel like somebody could use this message, if you feel like you know somebody who has a fear of money, please share this with them. Hopefully it will help them out. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Camille Over Chai. Ta-ta!